All right. Sweet, 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 sweet. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Sunday Live that we like to have every single Sunday because why not? My purpose for this live is to honestly garner more attention. It's about garnering more attention because that's what we need to do if we're going to market ourselves in any way. If we're going to have any kind of success on social media, which ultimately success on social media leads to success in business, then you need to garner attention. And in order to do that, you need to use all of the tools that social media provides to you for you to actually use. One of those things is going live. But if you're going to go live, you have to do it right. If you're going to go live, you have to actually schedule a time. You have to be consistent with your going live, same time, same place, same day, every single week. I would recommend not later than that. And with that, over time, you get to grow. One of the things that I talk about a lot, and by the way, shout out to me. Boom, little 10K action. My fastest 10K yet. I finished like 150 out of like 500 people. Not too bad. Not too bad. Fifth in my class of over 40. That's right. Not too bad. Not too bad. If you have any questions, guys, please comment below. Any questions about public adjusting, claims, marketing, social media, business, entrepreneurship, please. I want you to leave. This live is all encompassing, all right, of just everything that I've learned over many, many years of not just experience and failures, but also experience of coaching. Okay. I have spent and still spend thousands of dollars on coaching. And it's the reason why I think it's one of the things that I think separates me amongst others is that I have put in the work, I have put in the time, and I have put in the money to learn as much as I can about business, about marketing, about entrepreneurship. And I've got a lot of knowledge to give. And that's what honestly, my biggest goal here for 2025 is to make an impact, on other people's lives as much as I can. Also, I've been through some crazy struggles, but who hasn't, right? So, yeah, if you want to make an impact on social media, you got to post stuff. So we're going to be live every single Sunday is my goal, so that we could actually gain some consistency here and we can do some stuff here. Here's a little speaker. So, let's talk about the week in review, at least for me, for elite resolutions and just some of the stuff that we did. One thing that we did is we had our weekly leadership meeting. Can you be a public adjuster in Florida without living in Florida? Yes, you can. You just have to have a home state. Thank you, Phil, for your question. You have to have a home state that you have, and then you could go ahead and you could apply for Florida. However, I do not know if I doubt that your state is reciprocal. So you might have to take a test. Don't quote me on it, but I would look up the Florida Department of Financial Services website, look up public adjuster, look up getting a license. And yes, you can be out of state and still get a license in Florida. However, I would recommend that you look it up to find out exactly what you have to do because you might have to take another exam in order to do so. On Monday, we had leadership training. So one thing that we do every single week at Elite Resolutions, Commercial Claims Advocate, and everything that we do, we have leadership training, which means I try to instill leadership principles, mindset principles, success principles into every single one of our independent contractors, public adjusters, employees, and anybody that I come in contact with in the business. And I think what it does is it builds people, right? I heard a great quote from Dan Martell that says, millionaires build processes, billionaires build people. So I am on a mission. Like I said from the beginning, my word for the year is impactful. And in order to be impactful, I need to do the best that I can to build everyone around me. And in order to do that, I need to take the stuff that I have learned about leadership, about mindset, about positivity, about manifestation, about success, about marketing, about entrepreneurship and everything else, take all the failures that I've learned from and try to instill everything that I can in others, which is another purpose, like I said, for this call. The leadership training today or last week was actually about trying to help build your own social media. Now we've got some employees that, don't have necessarily a big social media presence. However, what I was trying to instill besides the consistency that you need to have if you're going to build your social media channel, besides the persistence and besides just, overall getting after it and the hustle, you need to ask questions. What are the most common questions that your customer has? What are the most common questions that your referral partner has? What are the most common questions that come up on a day-to-day basis when you're doing the thing, when you're doing the job, whether you're a public adjuster, business, or whatever it is? What are the most common questions that you get from your ideal customer avatar. But I take it a step further. What are the most common questions that you get from your referral partners? If you've got some cool questions, let's leave it below. Like, that's a great, like, Phil just asked a question, which would be towards my target of public adjusters to grow our mastermind, right? I've got several target markets. As a public adjuster, my target market is going to be fire claims, real estate agents, just consumers overall who have suffered a fire damage claim or any kind of claim. However, with our mastermind program and our courses and our beautiful book here and everything that we do at Commercial Claims Advocate, that's a question that I should put on the website is, can you be a public adjuster in Florida without living in Florida? It's a great question that I'm sure Phil is not the only person that has that question. What are some of the most common questions? I will give a shout out where I got this idea, because no idea is original. Where I got this idea is a book. So I would like to recommend the book, as I try to always do. And it's called They Ask, You Answer. They Ask, You Answer. They Ask, You Answer. It is a marketing book, a marketing strategy book that I saw on somebody else's social media. I picked it up and I destroyed it in like a day. And the reason why I say that is because, just take you guys, when you're reading books, okay, I probably read about 1 or 2 books a week. It's not because I'm a fast reader. It's not because I'm smart. It's not because of anything. Is I actually have sort of a way of reading a book where I don't read an entire book. I don't read an entire book. I usually read what I need to get out of it. The table of contents for me is very, very important when I'm reading a book. When you're reading a book, look at the table of contents. What are you trying to extract from that book? Okay. And that's what I did with this book. I read it fast. I was also on a couple of flights. I was able to read it even faster, but you skim through it, man. Get everything that you can. And they have in They Ask, You Answer. He's got the power, the power of 5 in order for you to try to get those answers or get those questions going. And I mean, if I could try to find it quick, I'm not sure I will be able to, but I wrote it down in our training, and it's the big 5. The big 5 is number 1 is pricing and costs. So what are some of the common questions in regards to the pricing and costs? Number 2 is problems. Like, what are some how you turn weaknesses into strengths? So what are some of the biggest problems in your industry or biggest problems that people suffer from? That's how you can come up with more question. Another one of the big 5 is versus and comparisons. So versus and comparisons can be in regards to you versus the insurance company, you versus another business, you versus another competition, and compare it. These are great for blog articles. These are great for YouTube shows. These are great for 30-second shorts, whatever it is. Big 5, topic number 3, number 4 is reviews and best in class. So you could actually do reviews of other people in your industry. These are just common things that people, your consumer, they want to know. And if they can go to your site to say who's the best public adjusting firm, if they can go to your site and say who's the best, door and glass company, and you're a door glass company, and they go to your site and they could see that you're humble enough to not be your company and you're giving an honest review, they start seeing that more and more, especially in a Google search, and they're going to actually purchase from you. And then the last one that we've got is number 5. It is topic number 5 of the big 5 is, I don't have it. Didn't come up in my table of contents, but yeah, the thing that you have to get that I'm trying to prove is that what we did training on was ask the question, do you have a podcast about flood claims? I don't, but I do have an episode that I do talk about flood claims. If you go into the YouTube show, Commercial Claims Show, you will find definitely an episode about that. However, I'm sorry if I don't know how to pronounce your name, Furra or Furra. Send me a direct message and I'll be glad to help you out even further. So Furra on Instagram, please send me a message, a direct message. I'm very accessible on Instagram, and it is me that is actually responding. But ask questions. What are the most common questions? And then build your website around the most common questions and answer the most common questions on your website. Build a lead magnet answering the most common questions. Do a bunch of shorts and videos answering the most common questions. Create long form YouTube or even long form Facebook content answering the most common questions. If that's what you're doing, you're going to start attracting your consumer that you want. And consumers are going to go to you as the most trusted source to get the questions that they need answered. So yeah, keep that in mind. I did the same training I actually did the same training that I did with our leadership, with our companies. I did the same training in the mastermind this week. I think they enjoyed it. It's really cool in the mastermind. If you guys aren't part of if you're a public adjuster and you're not part of my mastermind, yeah, you have no idea what you're doing yourself. Somebody asked me what my biggest regret is in business. My biggest regret in business is not hiring a coach until 10 years after I was in business and public adjusting. Biggest regret. If I would have hired a coach, a business coach, year one, I would be a multi-millionaire right now. I guarantee it. So I'm 10 years late to the party. If you are just starting out, okay, as a public adjuster, and I would even go so far where that mastermind is really going is going to be a little bit more all encompassing. If you're not a public adjuster though, and you're not in my mastermind, honestly, you have no idea what you're missing. And I say that with 1,000% confidence. If we have anybody on the mastermind that's watching right now and you want to leave a comment, I'm very confident that you guys would say the same thing. It's insane. It's insane. Like we meet on Monday and we go mindset, business, marketing, operations, and just building the overall entrepreneur. And then on Wednesdays, we've got Jeremy who does claims. So if really what you're looking for is better claims handling, well, that's there every single Wednesday live with Jeremy. And by the way, it's live and recorded so that you can watch. If you're just struggling with your marketing and your sales and you can't figure out how you could actually generate more leads, that's on Monday with me, where I go fucking ham all in on that stuff. Yeah, you're crazy if you're not on that thing. So anyway, so I taught the same thing. We did the same training. I do a lot of whiteboarding. Always. That's my favorite thing to do. And we did a lot of training on the questions, the power of 5, and how you can generate as many questions as possible. We will be generating a document for our company, Elite Resolutions, and just telling you what we do behind the scenes, Elite Resolutions and Commercial Claims Advocate. The entire week, we've been gathering questions, and the goal is to have over 100 questions so that we can now incorporate into our website and into all of our social media content going forward. We're also bringing our entire team together once every 3 months and shooting just a ton of content so that we could really grow the Elite Resolution side of the content because it's so important. The next thing I did is we did a YouTube video. I wish I could share. I guess I could, right? I'm sure I could share the link easily. Let me see if I could find it while I'm talking. But we did a YouTube video and we did the top five video creation strategies. Okay. If you want to start creating successful content on your channel or on whatever it is that you're doing, if you want to start creating successful content, well, you need to follow these 5 steps. You got to watch this video. Great video. I really enjoyed making it. I was super hype about it. And it's just an overall great video. So I'm going to leave it here. I don't know where. I think it promotes all over. So you're going to want to see this video for sure. That's what we just posted on Wednesday. I just felt like saying, hey, let's see what we can do to help grow your videos. And it's just a simple process that I have it right here. Number 1 is make sure that your audio is good, right? That's number 1. Number 2 is make sure that you have energy. Your energy's got to be 2x. Okay. Like right now, I'm pretty tired. I'm not going to lie. I ran my fastest 10K that I've ever ran. And we got up at 4:30 in the morning in order to get to St. Pete because we're almost an hour away from St. Pete. But I know that because I'm doing this, I need to put some inflection. I need to put some energy. I need to get in. I need to get after it so that it can be actually entertaining to you. Because my normal, like, honestly, I'm probably more chill like this when I'm talking to somebody, like just like normal, looking them in the eye, having a conversation. Does not come across well on video. So you need to come across hardcore to 2x whenever you're trying to do any kind of content. Number 3 is hook, story, offer. Got to have a hook, story, offer. Hook, story, offer. Bring them in. Instagram counts that. Instagram actually gives you numbers of what your first 3 seconds is on your video. It's the most important part of any make, in particular, the short form content of the 1 minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute. So hook them in and then create your story and then your offer. Avatar, make sure that you know who you're talking to, and then measure. You want to measure your results and see which content is actually resonating with people, which content is going viral for your specific numbers. When I say viral, I don't mean millions of views. Okay. If you've only got a couple hundred followers, then viral could be 1,000 views. Like that actually resonated with people beyond even your viewership. You could take that content and you could redo it as a blog. You could redo it as a lead magnet. You could redo it and put ads behind it. So many different things to do. Another thing that I'm excited about is we've actually, what looks like it seems to be happening, and you got to watch my lives because I'm definitely much more on my lives. I definitely talk a lot more about behind the scenes that's going on in my life and in our businesses. So what I've done with Commercial Claims Advocate is see, I've got a whole team, right? I've got a whole team that, by the way, lives all across the entire planet. We've got Bangladesh, we've got the Philippines, we've got Vietnam, we've got Serbia, we've got Canada, right? And growing, right? And then some. And everybody has a role on the team. So what we did yesterday is we actually basically made a quasi marketing company. So we even might have our first client that my team doesn't even know about. But on Monday, we basically have and we actually did an amazing whiteboard. I made like a pizza pie and all the different departments. And then we took all those departments and there was like 7 or 8 or 9 of them. And we narrowed it down to 3 departments. We've got 3 department leads, right, on each of them. So we have like content and content creation. We have communication. And then we have also, what was the other one? Well, we have ads too. That's my department that I'm in charge of, just sales and stuff. And then we have another one that I can't remember right now off the top of my head. But we basically created a quasi marketing firm. And I've got like a name. It's Advocate Marketing Solutions. Advocate Marketing Solutions. I don't know. That might work. But if you're interested in sort of doing what we are doing or what I have been able to do over the last 5 years with social media and with YouTube, if you are interested in actually potentially using my team, shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. Okay. Honestly, you could send me a text message on my phone. I have no problem about that. All right. Let's see. 305. I just did that. That's right. Text me. Text me. Text me. That's my personal cell phone number. Feel free to text me. Phil, what are some of the things to think about / research when considering switching from being a staff adjuster to a public adjuster? I love that question. Phil, you have to understand first that being a public adjuster is first and foremost a sales role. I hate to say it. Unless you find a company that brings you consistent leads, do not expect to work as a public adjuster as you do or as you did as a staff adjuster, where you go to work, you clock in, and you work your claims, and then you clock out. That's not how it works. The reason why my mastermind is so unique is because I break it down into 4 parts, right? There's 4 things that make up a complete public adjuster. Only one of those 4 things is claims. The other 4 has nothing to do with claims. It's basically you are an entrepreneur. So you have to, Phil, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have to do 2 things if you're going to be a public adjuster. Number 1 is you're going to have to start saving some money. Make sure that you got some money saved up because you're not going to make any money for a while. And number 2 is, are you ready for this? This is my favorite that nobody ever expects. Get a full-time job. Like get a full-time or a part-time job. Because unfortunately, more often than not, you cannot be a staff adjuster while being a public adjuster. Maybe in your state you can, but normally, at least in Florida, you have to switch your license over. So now you cannot do both. But I would even recommend, if it's possible, be a staff adjuster, make your money, and then on your off time, hustle your public adjusting whenever you have time. In the evening, in the early morning hours, making phone calls, connecting with people, and start trying to generate claims and generate leads that way. Because I'm telling you, it takes 3 to 5 years to generate consistent income. I'm not saying it's going to take you that long. It's going to take you at least a year or 2 to actually say, okay, I've got something going here. Jeremy Suarez says, hey, Vince, starting off, what would you say are the 3 most important hires for a PA firm? I think your number 1 is you want to have a personal assistant, Jeremy. Okay. That's going to be by far your most, start there. When you get to a point where it's just getting slightly overwhelming, where you might be spending too much time working claims or too much time doing inspections, and you're not spending enough time working on the business, like they say, and you're too busy working in the business, you're going to want to hire your first administrator. What is that administrator going to do? That administrator will help you sort of gather, as you'd gather the documents, they organize them. As they organize them, they also maybe send the contract to the company. I'm sorry, to the adjuster. Or sorry, to the client to get signed. And then maybe that comes back and they actually submit the claim for you and they give the facts of loss. Okay. There could be some follow-up. I just would be careful if they're not licensed. And also, it's not even that you have to be careful. Again, I've tried everything, Jeremy. If you have an admin that is following up with the insurance company, it's fine as long as they say that they're not a licensed public adjuster, but the claim stalls out. So you will have to get involved either way. So that I would say is your first thing, Jeremy. And then depending on what your strengths are, Okay. If your strength is in negotiating and settling claims, then you might want to actually hire somebody to go inspect. Okay. If you like to go out, meet the client, inspect the property, and you want to be there taking the notes, then maybe a desk adjuster of some sort could be another one. Okay. That's basically what we call the customer support part of the ladder, right? Shout out to Dan Martell. He's got a hiring ladder, a replacement ladder that's fantastic. And you could pretty much go by that. You start with the personal administrative executive assistant. You go to somebody that does the thing, right? And it should be does the thing that maybe you don't like to do. Okay. So it's either going to be out on the field or in house. And then this way you could focus on marketing and then you could focus on sales. Okay. So that's marketing, then would be like the third. Does that make sense? So I hope I was able to answer your question there. Great question, Jeremy. Thank you. Phil, I hope I didn't scare you for not being a public adjuster, but it ain't easy. Okay. It ain't easy, especially just in the climate it is today. It's a little bit harder to find coverage than it was 15 years ago when I first started. And you have to just hustle. You have to grind, but it's definitely not impossible. But I would say you should have consistent income coming in, because even if you save money, Phil, it'll run out. Okay. And I know, I just know guys that came, I know that guys that came on that saved over $100,000 and they ran out because it takes at least 3 years. Okay. Rich, that's exactly how I started learning while working. Yeah, you should be. I mean, they even say, guys, this is a great thing that I've heard. I think you want to be making approximately like, you want to be making like 70% of what you make now before you make the jump anyway. So there's a lot of people that have full-time jobs. Forget public adjusting. There's just a lot of people that have good ideas and they want to start a company and they want to be an entrepreneur. And you never know when is the moment to get out of your full-time job and jump all in. Okay. There is no actual moment, but I have read in several different places, if you can get that income of your entrepreneurial journey up to about 50 to 60 to 70% of what you're making now. So you would still have a dip. Okay. But that's when you make the jump. You don't just say, I'm going all in, because that's obviously dangerous. You could obviously end up with no money. And if you have family, that's not going to go well. There's no food on the table. But you don't want to hang on for this too long, because obviously you're stunning your growth. But you have to try to be very, very intelligent with it. Okay. When you're making an entrepreneurial jump. And that's what it is, going from a desk adjuster to a public adjuster, or even going from an independent adjuster to a public adjuster. You got to be ready to you got to find the right time, and your income really determines all of it. I mean, it is what it is. Money makes the world go round, right? So that's what we did on Wednesday. So go look at the YouTube show. Great video. Also on Tuesday, shout out to Matt Mulholland. I had the opportunity to speak at his event at the masterclass, and yeah, I fucking rocked it. But that's my goal though, right? My goal this year is to make a freaking impact. Okay? That's what I'm trying to do. I want to be impactful. Ask me questions, guys. Now's your chance. I will give you the fucking cold-hearted truth right now if you want to ask me a question. An amazing presentation that I gave. I basically had an hour. So I was like, what the hell am I going to do for an hour? I basically took 3 presentations and I put it to one. The one thing that I talked about is the marketing and success VLC. It's your vision, it's your leadership, and it's your consistency. If you want to be successful in anything in life, but I geared it towards life and I geared it towards marketing, you have to have a vision. What is a vision? You have to be able, whatever vision that you have to start something with the end in sight. So Phil, to you, what does it look like at the end? Okay. Let's just throw it out there. You're making well over 6 figures. Your family is living a great life. I don't know what your living situation is, but maybe you bought a new house and I want you to visualize that house. Okay. You've got a couple adjusters under you and you've got all the time and the freedom along with the income to really enjoy your life. All right. That's your vision, but it's not just, that's the end in sight. Okay. But you have to sense it. Okay. You have to desire it and you have to expect it. SDE. It's already done. If you're going to make that switch, Phil, if you're going to make that jump into public adjusting, you have to sit down, close your eyes, and fucking visualize it and see it and touch it and smell it and hear it. What does it smell like? What does it feel like? What does that house look like? What does your company look like? What does your bank account look like? Feel it, sense it, desire it. Why do you want it? Right? I don't know what your situation is now, but there's a reason why you want it. It's probably for others, right? It's probably for your family, probably for your friends, probably for your kids, probably for your wife. It's a better life. What you desire in others, you will receive for yourself. Desire what you want to acquire for others, and you will want it more. And then expect it. You've got it already. You've done it already. It's already done. It's in the bag. You already know what the house smells like. You already know what it feels like. Like, it's done. You're a public adjuster. You're making over six figures. You're whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road already. And you're acting today as if you've already got it. Then you have to be a leader. If you're going to be successful in your business or in marketing, that's the vision, VLC. You got to be a leader. If you're going to be a leader, you have to lead yourself. So you have to take care of yourself, be healthy, educate yourself, become more knowledgeable, constantly feed your brain, constantly feed your body with the right food. Okay? Constantly do whatever you can to be a good person. You have to lead yourself first, and then you want to lead your others around you. And you really want to be successful in marketing, you have to lead your market. That's what I've been able to do over the last 5 years on YouTube. Is I am a leader in this market. Okay? There's not any other YouTube channel you're going to find that's like this one. All right. When I walk into a room of public adjusters know who I am. The way I've been able to do that is by not only taking care of myself, but then we go to the C, and it's by being consistent. In the last month and a half, 6 weeks, I have only missed one. Why did I miss it? Oh, because I took my kid to the, My plan is to not miss any of these lives. I don't care if there's only 2 people watching on Facebook or YouTube. I don't know which one. I don't care that there's only 3 people watching on Instagram, because I know that if I'm consistent every single Sunday at 10 a.m., this 5 viewers, which thank you guys for watching, is going to be 50 viewers, and eventually be 100 viewers, and it'll eventually be more and more and more. And I'm tapping into a market, and I'm tapping into an audience that I know that do not normally freaking watch. So thank you guys for watching. But if I'm consistent every single Sunday, this will turn into something else. I don't know what it's going to turn into yet, but it doesn't matter. It's going to turn into more views, which is going to be ultimately better for me and my business and everyone around me. So that was the first presentation. All right, real quick questions. Rob, just got my Oklahoma license this past September, working for a great company. Blueprint, that's my boy. Question, that's Mike Zebold, great company. In your opinion, Vince, when tornado season ramps up, should I do a lot of door knocking? Absolutely, Rob, 1,000%. The best time to do door knocking is after a significant storm. Absolutely. That is, in my opinion, the best time and the only time. If there's no storm, there's no point in going door knocking. You have to remember, Rob, that we work in an industry that's, well, I'm calling it, and I saw Mo, I saw that you joined. I don't know if you're still on. But Mo, I'm taking it from Mo. He called it the shit hitting the fan industry. Our industry is only when the shit hits the fan. Okay. So it makes digital marketing very difficult, which we're trying to master. But it also makes door knocking very simple, Rob. Okay. Door knocking is much better after the shit actually hits the fan. If you're door knocking just because you live in Oklahoma and you're trying to find claims and you just go door knocking, it's not like you're selling windows and doors, or it's not like you're selling pest control, where you could literally knock on any door, and if they don't have pest control, you could pitch it, you could sell it. This is only a sudden and accidental event, a shit hits the fan industry. So when the shit does hit the fan, that a massive amount of people have had the shit hit the fan, then you can go door knocking in that area. But if there's no actual event that has actually occurred, then you're going to have to do it another way, which is why you want to start following me as much as you can, Rob. All right. All right. I want you to DM me. I want you to DM me so that I could actually share with you some of the things that we can do to help you to really get your digital marketing up, right? Get your sales pitches up. All right. There's a lot of things that we do on our side that really is able to get consistent leads for us. Let's see. Jeremy, hey, Vince, thanks for the great advice. How would you take on pitching to a homeowners association? Ran into a great community I want to represent, but have to go through HOA. Any tips? Well, Jeremy, the first thing is, do they have damage, and did they suffer any damage from a particular event? If you've already got that answer, then you're going to want to try to find a connection to the president, right? Outside of every HOA, Jeremy, outside of every association, outside of every single whatever apartment complex, there should be a sign for who the property manager is. Okay. That's not the person you want to talk to, but you're going to want to call that number. You're going to want to speak to the property manager, try to get to the owner of the property management company and see if you could bring them donuts, go meet them in person, or just build some rapport over the phone. Jeremy, see if they will give you the phone number to the president. Then you're going to want to actually speak to the president and you're going to want to do what you have to do. Let them know how you could help to see if they've actually filed the claim. If, however, Jeremy, there has not been a significant event and you're just trying to get connections to different HOAs, then that's also very good to do. Then there's two things that you can do. One of the things, if you're not doing any kind of constant like touching, again, look at now. I'll see if I can share my marketing video. You're going to want to, the next step after you build any kind of social media presence is you're going to actually want to engage with them. But anyway, I digress. See if you could offer a free inspection to see if there's any kind of damage, and then build that rapport and follow up with them as often as you can. But in engagement, Jeremy, if it's a cold HOA that you're trying to connect to, if you can get the contact information of the president or anybody on the board, then you're going to want to start a drip campaign. Okay. You could use a number, just type in drip campaign, email drip campaign. There's a number of different things that you could use. Your CRM might even do it. And you're going to want to ask ChatGPT, explain to them who it is that you're trying to build this for. Okay. And you're going to want to come up with at least 10 emails. Okay. Like a newsletter, but make it valuable. Put a lead magnet behind it. Put some attachments behind it of some very valuable information they could use. Maybe not for a claim, but just for the improvement of their overall HOA. Okay. 10 drip campaign emails that goes out to the board. Get all their email addresses. At the very least, when they say, no, we're not interested, but you've been very nice, get their contact information. Get their fucking phone number and their email. I'm telling you. And then you can do a drip campaign, not only with email, but you can also do one with text. Hey, this is me, Jeremy. Thank you so much for meeting me the other day. Look, as promised, I want to provide you this document that really breaks down how to avoid any kind of serious damage or serious issues after a pipe burst or after some kind of significant event may hit your thing. Here's another quick document that I've created for you or that I found online that could really pinpoint some of the most important things to look out for in your insurance policy. And you can even go crazy. Like here, if you're having any kind of issues with some people who live in the association, here are some things that I've learned from an attorney or I've learned from someone else that you could actually go about getting the payments that you need. It doesn't even have to be about claims. Jeremy, drip campaign, 10 emails, and make it even 20. So you're doing at least once a week. Okay. But it's got to be valuable information. And I would attach a lead magnet behind it. You don't know what a lead magnet is? Search it. You want to know? Send me a message, Jeremy. On Instagram is the best place. And I can really help you go all in on that. Cal, my boy. Cal, how many times have we been standing together at events and folks come to us while standing there and talk about knowing/following us through the content we made at some point in the past that still exists today? I lost count, but it always makes me feel good. It's an amazing feeling, Cal. I'm with you, man. Like it is an amazing feeling when people come to you at any of these events and they just like thank you profusely for the content that you're giving out. Yeah, amongst other things, guys, when you are creating content and you're creating valuable content, and you have to create the value, you have to create the content with nothing. You don't really want anything in return. Okay. Like you have to just enjoy it. If you don't enjoy making the content, then you're not making the right content. Okay. You thought I was going to say that if you don't enjoy making the content, then don't do it. No, that's not what I'm saying. If you don't enjoy making the content, then find something else. Okay. Had a great conversation with one of our mastermind members, Chris, and he's just been having trouble but he loves to fight and he loves drums. So I told him, I said, just make content around fighting, because he does sparring and all that stuff, and bring it back to claims. Make content around drums and bring it back to claims. Because he was just making content about fighting and there's nothing behind it, and just making content about drums and nothing behind it. But then I love it. I saw a post the other day. Shout out to you, Chris. He's like elbowing the bag. And it's like on the bag, he put insurance company or insurance adjuster. And he's like, this is me, like, hitting the, that's great. So now he's incorporating what he does, bringing it back, letting people know that, hey, by the way, I'm an adjuster. And this is what I do to adjusters. And he was doing the same thing with the drums. And he was like beating the policy or something like that. I forgot what it was, but it was really, really fantastic. All right. So there's marketing. 3 steps to grow your business. Is that it? Is that the marketing one? Because there's a really, really good one that I did. I don't know why it's not in order. I guess it's not really. Okay. Marketing plan. All right, so I'm going to share this one, guys. You're going to want to see the marketing plan. All right, there is a way after you create the social media content and you create what I call the awareness. After you create the awareness, you have to create engagement. By engagement is you have to communicate with your people. The only way that you can communicate with your people, okay, is by you reaching out to them. All right. First, you have to collect their information and then you have to reach out to them. It could be by text message, it could be by emails, and there are CRMs, there are softwares that automates that for you after you create it. And then there's also the part of you just reaching out. Yeah. Yeah. One of our 5 daily non-negotiables is to do 5 opens. That means you have to reach out to new likes, to new follows, to new comments, to new views, and to new anything that you get on social media. Reach out to them. Hey, thanks for the follow. You just here for the content, or is there something that I can help you with? How about here? Hey, thanks for the view on my story. Did you like it? Are you here for the content, or is there something that I can help you with? It might be a contractor, it might be a mitigation contractor. It might even be a client that's just looking at your content because, hey, this could actually be very useful for me in the claim that I currently have open right now. Another exciting thing is that we might have our first client. My team doesn't know. Did I mention that? It's actually a business broker that I know here, not too far. We had a great conversation. One of the things that I'm very, very interested in, guys, is actually acquiring another business this year. That's right. Remember, I told you in my live, I'm gonna go all out and say everything. One of the things that I'm very, very, very excited about is I'm going to acquire a business this year. I don't care what it is. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's a successful business, a successful business that is currently that the seller just wants to sell. Maybe it's a baby boom, older person that wants to retire, or maybe it's just a person that has just reached his limit and doesn't want to run it anymore. And my goal is to purchase another business. That's right. Acquire another business with a manager already in place or one that we have to hire. All right. And whatever that business may be. And yeah, that's one of the goals. And 3 next year. That's right. Well, anyway, she's a business broker. And I noticed that she had a YouTube channel. And it's like she's posting on YouTube, which probably most of you are. So she's got the first, at least she's posting, but it's like, it's awful, right? There's no meat and potatoes. There's no thumbnail. There's no good description. The lighting's bad. The audio's bad. Like, it's all bad. So she wants help. And I said, I can help her. She's like, well, I'm willing to pay you for that. And I said, okay. So let's do it. There is a process to it all. Okay. I mean, you see the thumbnails. You got to have a thumbnail. You got to have proper lighting. I think I have proper lighting. You got to have good audio. Okay. You got to have a good topic and a good structure of what you're talking about. And then you got to post it with a good thumbnail, with a good description, with proper hashtags. And you got to be consistent at least once a week, and at least 10 minutes on your content. All right. But here's the beauty, guys. You post guys, look at my Instagram right now. You post one long form 10-minute, you could have 10 shorts because every short is 30 seconds to a minute. All right. You could literally extract that. Well, guess what? My team can do that for you. If anybody's interested at all, like literally, like type in marketing in the chat if you're interested at all in really just, getting the help of my team, because man, I have a rock star team. They're so good. Oh man, shout out to my team. And we're going to be growing that team too. So yeah, that's exciting. And then I think the last thing that I did is I had a lot of interviews, and I am going to be hiring a personal assistant here locally. So we've got amazing admins at Elite Resolutions and Commercial Claims Advocate, but I've never had anyone local here. And I think that's going to be the next move, is having somebody local here, because we're going to go crazy. All right, Rob, shoot me a message on DM, my friend, on Instagram. Marketing may be down the line. Dude, it's like never too late, never too early, never too soon. And social media is free, Rob. If you're going to do anything, just shoot me a DM. We can have a conversation. But post consistent. Three stories a day, 1 reel a day. 3 stories a day, 1 reel a day. 3 stories, 1 reel. 3 stories, 1 reel. Every single fucking day. I like to curse every once in a while because it means something. Start with that, and pick the one of your choice. You're watching me on YouTube now, so obviously you like YouTube. But guys, let me tell you something about YouTube. Come on, man. Like, now we got ChatGPT, so I guess people are probably ChatGPTing a lot. I don't think I Google much anymore. But guys, if you're not on YouTube, like, come on, it's owned by Google. Like, you literally just start making a weekly video, and if it's gonna be like this lady, and it's not too fancy, okay, but at least it's content. And if you could just do a decent like title and a decent description, then when people search, whatever it is, one of those questions, guys, this is all coming around. What are the most common questions? And if you're unsure what the most common question is, go to google.com, type in the search and start typing, and everything that drops down, that can help you with your most searched items. Okay, got a lot on my plate, but I'll pick your brain on it. Rob, you got a lot on your plate? Really? What makes you different than anyone else? It's called life, Rob. All right. If you're going to allow me to be your coach, you remember you have to allow me to break your balls. Ask anybody in the mastermind. I can get pretty aggressive. But none of that a lot on your plate shit, because we all have a lot on our plate. It's called life. When it comes to work and it comes to personal life, we all got a lot on your plate. It just depends on what your priorities are. Okay. And if your priority is to grow yourself and grow your business, then it's time to get on social media and start marketing. Jeremy, what are the must go-to conferences this year for PAs or any organization PA should look out for to grow their business? Bro, Jeremy, I'm so happy you asked that question. We've got two. We're going to do one virtual and we're going to do one in person. Now, I was originally going to do two virtuals and one in person, but I want to make sure that it's really, really good. So here's what we're going to do. You guys ready? In June, we're going to have a virtual conference. Cal Spoon, if you're still watching, I'd like to invite you. Please, please, please. Now that I saw you, I would like to invite you to our virtual conference in June. Cal Spoon has a very great conference also, but I don't know if you're still doing it, Cal. If you're still watching, please comment below. I apologize if I don't have any of those dates. But Cal Spoon, if you scroll up, Jeremy, oh no, he's on Facebook right now. So you're going to want to look up Cal Spoon, okay? Just another guy like me educating other public adjusters around the country. Jeremy, look up Cal Spoon. He's got a conference that's coming up, I think, pretty soon. We are going to do a virtual conference. It's going to be a fucking mega event. It's going to be so sick. We are just now starting to sort of put it together. Again, we were going to do it in March, but it's just too much going on, Rob, to take. I was busting your chops. We got too much on our plate going on now. But quite frankly, in June, big virtual conference. It's going to be a 2-day event. And then in November, we're bringing back Advocates United in Miami. So Jeremy, I don't know where you live, but we are going to be bringing back Advocates United. If you don't know what that is, just Google it, search it. I'm sure you can find some videos and you can find some content on it. The last one we did was off the charts. And it's like really for public adjusters. Now, because I am in sort of like an expansion mode. I'm very much into business. I've already told you guys I want to acquire a business. And I'm very much into mindset and leadership. I'm very much into sales and marketing. It is, I guess, a public adjuster conference, but I feel like it's a little bit going to turn into a little bit more of like an entrepreneurial conference because it's just what I'm interested in. All right. And you're going to get a lot out of it though, but it's going to be mainly public adjusters. So that's that. The WIN conference you missed. That was a good one. That was in Dallas. And there's really not much, guys. There's really not much for public adjusters. It's tough to find, I must say. So in June, Jeremy, we're doing a 2-day virtual conference. And in November, usually the Thursday before Thanksgiving, whatever date that is, we will do an in-person one in Miami, Florida. And that will be great. All right. Jeremy, shoot me a message just so we can be in contact here because I see you're on YouTube. I'm writing Rob down and I'm writing Jeremy down. Shoot me a message on Instagram, guys. I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to invite you also, guys, to our mastermind. Invite you just to come and take a look at it. It's next level. And if you want to go next level, that's the way to do it. Again, I spent thousands of dollars, which speaking of which, I've got my first also, in case you guys don't know, I've been on a fitness journey for the last 6 months. I have lost 25 pounds. I never thought I could lose. Honestly, 15 would have been more than enough. And I'm down 25 pounds. I'm down to 10% body fat. And there's been a system that I've followed, and I've got one of our mastermind members. He's going to do it. He's going to do the whole fitness program with me. I'm already following you on IG. Thank you, Dina. I appreciate that. Shoot me a message, Dina. If you're a public adjuster and you're at all interested in leveling up and going to the next level, you are going to want to shoot me a message. I promise I will not disappoint you. And I'd love to invite you to the tomorrow. We meet Monday, 3:30 p.m. I'll be on whiteboarding. I think I'm going to talk about AI tomorrow. Haven't really narrowed it down on what I'm going to talk about. What's your name on Instagram? Vince Perri Official. Vince Perri Official on Instagram is my Instagram. Okay, shoot me a message there, guys. That's going to be a great place to find some stuff. Did I share the marketing? I did. Yeah, shoot me a message there, guys. I think I'm going to do AI tomorrow. I really want to talk about AI. I've gotten to a point with AI where if you're not using AI and you work for me, you're doing not only a disservice for yourself, you're doing a disservice for my company. If you're not using AI, I use probably AI like 10 times a day, just for all kinds of stuff. A lot of our processes, a lot of our checklists, a lot of our SOPs, and a lot of the content that we create and all the writing that you see in the description, like all that stuff we use AI for. We don't use it like literally like our business is AI. We use it as like a reference point, a reference check. Here's this, let's fix it up after we get it. But you know, a lot of the stuff that we're putting together on the elite resolution side, on our marketing side, you know, we're using the help of AI to help this establish some of our, quite frankly, our strategy and the way is sort of just, you know, it's all laid out and the different steps and so on and so forth. So, you know, that's what I think I'm going to talk about tomorrow. It's probably AI. The week to come here is I'm narrowing down the personal executive assistant. Just followed you over there. Thank you, Rob. Narrowed down the executive assistant. So that's exciting. We'll have 2 final interviews with them. We've got a nice event. Shout out to, if you guys don't follow Brian Sodre in Minneapolis, that guy is on a tear. Talk about consistency. Talk about persistence. Follow Minneapolis on Instagram, and you are going to see someone putting something together that is one of a kind. It is basically tiny homes, and he is ahead of the game. In order to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to be a major visionary and you have to see things 10 years down the road. And then you have to be consistent enough to actually make it all the way to the end. And he's doing that. He started like honestly 10 years ago on this tiny home journey and he's still on it, but he's getting a lot of attention and he's got a masquerade gala that he's putting on. I think it's on Wednesday or Thursday down in not Sarasota, but I don't know, down there where the hurricane hit, where Hurricane Ian hit. And it should be a nice event. I'm excited. I'm excited about the event. I will be doing that. And what else do I got going on in this week coming up? I feel like there's a lot. There's always a lot. Rob, is there too much on the plate? We got our mastermind session on Monday at 3:30. We got our mastermind session with Jeremy all in on claims on Wednesday at 3:30. That should be awesome. I am doing a podcast interview tomorrow with Jesse out in Dallas. He's an ink guy. That should be an exciting interview. And what else? Got a couple of inspections. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. An engineer inspection, you know, should be fun. Should be a good week. Should be a good week. I'm excited for it. We did one day in Disney just now with the kid. That was fun. And yeah, there's a lot of big things in 2025 that I'm very excited about. Just this live is just so exciting. Thank you guys for watching. For those of you that have stuck around, definitely by far the most views that we've ever had. So that's pretty exciting. Definitely the most likes, definitely the most hearts that we've ever had. And notice, Daniel, shout out to you, Dallas. Thank you for joining. Notice, guys, if you're going to be successful at marketing, it takes consistency. I'm actually listening right now to an interview on Spotify with an interview with Seth Godin on the Tim Ferriss show. If you don't know Seth Godin, well, and you want to be successful in business, you better. That guy's like the marketing guru. He's the marketing Jedi. Seth Godin has written countless amounts of books. He's got a new book out now that I have not read. I just was listening to this, and just a great interview. And basically, a lot of it just comes down to, guys, most of it, we live in an era right now in 2025 where it's just like instant gratification, right? I think we've been saying that for several years. But if you want to be successful in business and you want to be successful in marketing, you have to be in it for the long game. And there's going to be ups and downs. And if you're just discouraged because you've come out with 20 YouTube videos for 20 straight weeks and you're not getting your views up, guess what? You keep going. Because the last thing you want to do is quit and you were like right there of actually maybe making that turn or maybe going to that event and people actually recognizing you and then you realizing, wow, this is actually working. That's what happened to us. That's what happened to me. I'll never forget. I think it was, can't remember what construction conference. I was just walking around and people were like, oh, wow, Vince, thank you so much for your content. I'm like, what? Couldn't believe it. And by the way, that was like 2 years after I had started the YouTube channel. So persistence, consistency in marketing is by far, and it's in the VLC. I didn't even finish my presentation. After that, after I did the VLC, guys, in my hour-long presentation, I went through the entire marketing funnel, which is what I shared the video. If you scroll up, I shared it on here. It's the name of the video. The name of the video is the ultimate 2025 marketing strategy. I did the presentation on that, which is you have to get your eyes on you, then you have to get engagement, then you have to convert, and then you make money, which is how you do it. Awareness, engagement, conversions, and then sales, and you make money. And then the last thing that I ended it on is basically the power of what creates a successful public adjuster, which is what we provide in the mastermind, which is only one part of the public adjuster is claims. The other one is sales and marketing. The other one is systems, processes, operations. And then the other one is leadership and mindset. And then it's claims. Guys, this is one of the only occupations. I'm going to leave you guys with this. This is one of the only occupations that takes a complete understanding of everything it takes to be successful in business. If you could be successful as a public adjuster, especially a solo public adjuster, you are a visionary. You are also part integrator. You've got a great attention to detail. You've got good sales and marketing. You could talk to a lot of people, and you've got the grit and consistency. Like literally, you being a successful public adjuster will make you successful in anything. That's why I'm so excited about acquiring new businesses. I'm also a broker, by the way. So if anybody wants to sell the business, I'm here. Because when you are successful as a public adjuster, and I'm only naming 7, I can go off on 20. You have to be good at everything. I didn't even get into estimating, negotiating, inspecting, construction, right? Like literally, you are the jack of all trades. Maybe a master of none, but you definitely are the jack of all trades if you're going to be a successful public adjuster. So if not for anything, if you're just starting out, go all in. Do whatever you can to be successful, because I promise you, you're going to learn things throughout your journey of public adjusting that you will be able to apply to basically any other business. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. That's what we got. If you want more, go on the YouTube channel and check out all the content. Download one of the free guides. Shoot me a message on freaking Instagram. You're absolutely right about being a successful public adjuster. Shoot me an Instagram on Instagram. Guys, if you are following here and you're watching this, that means you are interested in the content that we have to give. I want you to shoot me a message. And if you are watching, I would like to personally invite you tomorrow, 3:30 p.m., to our mastermind for free as my guest. You can see all the other people in there. You can have conversations with them too, privately as well, through messaging. And just see what it's all about. It is a game changer. It is going to change this entire industry because of the amount of work, passion, energy that I'm putting towards it. Rob says, Rob, the jack of all trades. I like that. That's awesome. Rob's now messaging on Instagram. All right, guys, that's what we got. That was the best live that we've done so far. It's only going to get better. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for commenting. Thank you all for liking and hearting and all that good stuff. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's only 10:53 a.m. Eastern, probably a little bit earlier if you're on the West Coast. So just enjoy, relax, enjoy the Super Bowl, enjoy everything that you can. I don't know who's going to win, nor do I really care. I'm a big football fan, but since I've gotten all into business and mindset and developing myself, I've actually gotten a lot less interested in sports, and that's okay. All right, guys, I love you all. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing Sunday, and fucking kill it this week. Have a crushing week. See you later, guys.